I am of the pure mind of God. I am the resurrection and the life in my body, my finances, my relationships, and my world. I qualify everything in my world with perfection. I am perfection. I am this perfect day, and the life that lives in me is the light that cannot fail. I accept only God's perfection, His good, in my outer circumstances. I know in my heart that God is all in all. I am absolutely not concerned about what happens, because I know wonderful things are happening now.
Hello, it's Matthew David again. I want to read an excerpt from a book I'm going to release in 2021, and I'm going to give the first physical copies to our Seed Faith partners at Allow Ministries. So let me read this to you. And the book is called Gold Rule, Our Master Returns. There you go. You can see the cover there. I think you'll find this fascinating. In 2003, I discovered a mentor who taught me about tithing. He was a dishwasher in a pancake house and became a millionaire in 5 years, crediting his entire success to spiritual laws, tithing being the most foundational of them all. I began with a debt of $65,380 approximately, and no job, a broken down car. I had this Cadillac Seville 1995 broken down on the side of the road, and I was living in my girlfriend's parents' basement. Yes, they said I was a bum. So I went out and earned a $20 bill, and immediately I was excited. I sowed my first tithe offering. If you don't know what tithing is, I have plenty of videos on this channel, and also at MatthewDavidHurtado.com, my website. I have a whole course on the 3-2-1 prosperity formula. Anyway, I spoke a blessing over it, and I followed the exact rituals that I'm going to teach in Gold Rule, Our Master Returns. Within less than a year, I had received a surprise $30,000 gift. Someone actually wrote a check and paid off a large, substantial portion of my debt, and it cleared all of that debt, and I was gainfully employed in a pursuit I loved, earning the most money I'd ever received at that point in my life. I was actually in the fitness industry, and I loved fitness, and I was making plenty of money to have a great life, but the most incredible blessing was I got the opportunity to meet and court my wife, Sabrina. It was a divine appointment. Only the hand of God could have pulled this off, and we'll talk about that story in the book. So you could say the miracles of God poured out lavishly into my life when I came under the order of Melchizedek through the practice of tithing. A couple years later, I did what most people do. I became arrogant, and I stopped tithing. That's right. My descent was very rapid from there. Within a few months, I became sick and eventually plagued with acute anxiety to the point where I had agoraphobia and I couldn't leave my house. And then I come to find out that I had late-stage Lyme disease. Lucky me, huh? Soon I was bedridden and bankrupt. We lost our home, our vehicle, and it was an absolutely terrifying experience. I had over 36 emergency room visits during this period, and the worst being where I was unable to walk for several months. That's a long story, and it was a very frightening experience. Well, this time, I began tithing again and voraciously studying the works of Phineas Parkhurst Quimby and Mary Baker Eddy. Within a year, I had manifested myself as the comeback kid from a nightmare of being bound by Satan. God revealed ideas for me to build a 6-figure and 7-figure online income, surpassing my wildest expectations. Over the next 6 years, I developed a body-mind, this consciousness, that withstands the most rigorous physical workouts today, training up to 3 times a day, like a pro athlete. I'll be 44 years old in February. I train better now today than when I was half my age. I realized that it was when I broke my covenant with God and became arrogant. In other words, I put the burdens of this world on my shoulders, to carry the weight of the world on my shoulders. And that put me in the state of being the prodigal son. You're not engineered to do that, and neither was I. Trapped by the laws of sin and death in the flesh, because of my acknowledgement of carrying these burdens, I put myself under that law. That is a very harsh taskmaster. It's a wicked schoolmaster, according to the Gnostic Gospels. You feel that way? Well, I'm here to tell you that your refuge is the same one as mine. My refuge, again, was through the only promise. It's the only time in the Bible where this promise is made. God makes a bold statement in Malachi 3:10. Prove me now herewith, saith the Lord of hosts, that I shall not pour to you out a blessing. You see, bring the whole tithe into the storehouse. Years later, I decided to teach others this consciousness shift from being sinful in the doubt and reasoning mind, that's what sin is, to overcoming the world by discovering the living Christ. Christ is in the order of Melchizedek, and this manuscript, Gold Rule, with the meditations it will have, will open new realms of possibilities and power for you. It's God's will for you to prosper. That means all good things. It's not just money, it's health, relationships. It includes money too. Prepare to live by the law of the seed and sow honor in exchange for divine favor. See, ritual sacrifice has always been necessary. And Christ comes not to undo the law, but rather to fulfill the law. Put the spiritual laws contained in this book into use by the works of your hands. That's what workship is. It was originally workship, the works of your hands, your acts of obedience, and live the gold rule. You will soon discover the master returns, the return of the master. It's up to you. You see, God made the rules, and they're quite simple. Honor up, favor flows down. Gold rule will show you the meditations, the practices, and the rituals that bring you into the daily habits of prosperity. Stay tuned for more. Selah.
Hello, I'm Shen with Allow Ministries. If you are new or just getting warmed up to this material, here's a great place to begin. Use the groundbreaking tools, ABC break process, safe touch, and self-entrainment technique. These are the original spiritual millionaire workshop trainings. Matthew David discovered these techniques being bedridden and bankrupt. To develop a 7-figure business and today train like a pro athlete. Within a few minutes, you'll receive the first technique, ABC Break Free, followed by the next one, Safe Touch, 5 days later. Lastly, you'll be invited to learn Matthew's most powerful skill set to shift the vibration. What he believes to be true is you can occupy parallel universes now. This technique is called self-entrainment. You'll be invited to be personally mentored by Matthew David to master this once-in-a-lifetime skill set. Look for that text to arrive in 10 days. Matthew David has streamlined the learning curve to offer you his best material for rapid life transformation at the pace that works. It's a 30-day investment in yourself to achieve the inner game of permanent abundance and vitality structured as daily techniques to build your life strategically on a solid foundation that prospers you for all your days. It's a legacy to learn, profit from, and even teach to your loved ones. To navigate an ever-changing world with timeless and changeless wisdom. Now, it's your turn to rise above your circumstances and prove that all power is within you. Now to the number below and begin your fast track journey to your best life ever. No matter what the outer circumstances seem to be, you can master your world. Starting now.